Welcome everyone to another edition of James and Chris Science videos, where today we're going to be talking about cell specification. We're going to be looking at different cells, what features they've got that help them do their job, and explain a little bit about the function of each of those. So let's start off with, there's three words that we've really got to look at when we talk about this. Specification is about features, adaptations, and functions. The words themselves, let's go through each one. A feature is something that a cell has that helps it do its job. A feature and an adaptation are pretty much the same thing. An adaptation is something it's got to help it do its job. Same as with a feature. The function, though, is the word that explains what that job is. So let's start off with a cell. On the screen, appearing, you've now got a picture of a sperm cell. A sperm cell is very useful because the features and function on this are extremely easy to find and spot. So let's have a look at this cell, and there are three main features or adaptations that I think we can spot and see. The first and most obvious one is the tail. The tail is there in order to help the sperm swim. Its function is swimming, the feature or adaptation is the tail. There's a difference between those two words. The second thing you can see is inside, near the base of the tail, you can see it's got these little things called mitochondria. Now the mitochondria, if you recall, are the parts of the cell that do respiration. They give the cell its energy. And if I look at the base of this, I can see more mitochondria than I'd see in most usual cells. That itself is a feature, it's an adaptation. It's developed more mitochondria. Why? Well, its function, if it provides energy for the cell, the fact that it's got more means that it can have more energy and it can move around better. So, the feature is the number of mitochondria. The function is to provide energy so that it can swim for longer. Third thing that you can look at is right at the front of the cell. You can probably see a little kind of vacuole that is filled with something called an enzyme. Now, enzymes we will cover a bit later. But at the moment, what you need to know is it breaks down something. In this case, it breaks down an outer layer of the egg cell, allowing the sperm to burrow its way through. So, again, we look at it. What is the adaptation? The adaptation, it's got this vacuole filled with enzyme. What is its function? Its function is to break down that egg. Okay, so let's move on to the next cell. The next cell we're going to look at is a plant cell. We're going to look at a root hair cell. Immediately you can see on the side a long projection that comes out. Well, the function of this is linked to the function of the root hair cell, and the root cell is there to try and absorb water. The longer this is, the more surface there is in order to capture the water. And so we would say its feature is an extended hair. The function is to create a larger surface area to absorb water. You'll also notice that, unlike most plant cells, the root hair cell is also missing a key component. If you have a look, there are no chloroplasts visible. Well, why is this? Well, the reason is the root hair cell lives underground, and there's very little light that gets underground. So, to create the chloroplasts and chlorophylls it needs would be a waste of energy for the plant. So it doesn't on the root cells, and that itself is a feature. It doesn't have chloroplasts. That is because it lives underground, and so its function is to save the plant the energy of making it. On the screen is going to appear a table. I'd like you to have a go at writing that table down. You'll see the first column on it has feature. The second column on it has function. And I'm going to show you two more cells, and I'm going to see if you can come up with the features and functions for each of them. I'm going to start off with this one here. This is a xylem cell seen from the side. You can see there are some features about that might help it. I'll give you a little bit of a clue. The xylem cell is the cells in the stem of a plant that carry water. So have a look at that, see if you can see any functions and features and put them down. Number two coming up now is a nerve cell, a neuron. Again, following the same rules, could you please put down the features that you can see, and then in the second column, the functions. Following the slide is a couple of examples of what you should have put. Please check your own answers and see how you did. Thank you very much for watching A. James and Chris video.